Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hammy Show presented by Bulldawg Illustrated. We have a very, very special guest with us, a Spike Squad member, Ginny Thompson. Ginny, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course.
This is going to be awesome. It's a little Thanksgiving special that we're super excited to get out there. But something cool that just happened this week was the cover of Bulldawg Illustrated is featuring Miss Ginny Thompson sitting right in front of me. So I don't know if you've seen the cover yet, but it's pretty cool. It's Bring the Friday Night Fire is the title of it. So have you had the chance to see it?
Yes, I have seen it.
Awesome. What are your thoughts? Do you like it?
I do like it. I saw it and I was honestly really surprised, but I think it's a great picture.
Awesome. Yeah, so we took the picture. Rob Say, our photographer, took the picture at the Tennessee game when what an electric environment it was that Saturday night. What can you say about that game? I mean, it was so fun to be in there just as a regular fan, and I know as a Spike Squad front row, that had to
Oh
be.
yeah. I think honestly that was probably the best like Georgia game I've been at as a student. I think a lot of people talk about the 2022 Georgia Tennessee game and like I think honestly we were trying to bring that same energy and fire and like I think it was definitely brought and I just had such a great time.
Yeah, so one of the add-ons for that game was the fireworks, which you can see on the cover right behind you. What were your initial thoughts when the pregame was going on and those fireworks went off?
I mean, I literally remember when they shot them off during the national anthem, and I just remember looking around at my friends around me, and we were just so excited and so shocked that they had used them. And I think right then I knew it was going to be like such a good game.
Yeah, I mean, and what a game it was. It was so electric to be in that stadium. So I want to talk a little bit about the Spike Squad. It has been a staple of Georgia fandom for many years now. It's such a cool aspect of attending a game in Sanford Stadium and even away games because y'all make the travels. And I want to kind of get a feel on what it's like to join the Spike Squad. How does that process go?
I mean, honestly, it was a lot easier than I had expected because I mean, going into UG, I didn't really know too much like about how to join, but there was basically just a big interest meeting where it was talked about like how to join and like what kind of the expectation for the first.
I think I lost you for a second.
Oh, you're good.
Keep going. Keep going.
No, it's okay. I said usually the Saturday before the first home game of the season, they do interviews and you are interviewed by two exec members and basically they just get to know you and see why you really want to be a part of Spike Squad and also test your knowledge a little bit and see how much you know about like SEC football and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I hear you. So you're from Roswell, is that correct?
yes, I am.
So was Georgia always the dream for you?
Yes, I my entire dad's half of the family has been in Georgia for years and years, and I've grown up a Georgia fan, so I always saw myself going to Georgia. I didn't really see it any other way.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that's how so many are. It's always good to get some people that bleed red and black attending the University of Georgia. So moving back to the Spike Squad, did you know that you wanted to do that? Like even in high school, like watching games and being like, I'm gonna be a part of that?
I think I knew I wanted to be a part of something big in the student section just because in high school I did student athletic training, so I never was in the student section. I was on the field, and like I loved being on the field and being involved with the players and stuff like that. But I missed kind of the like big fan energy because it wasn't the same as you would think. And
Yeah.
so when I found out that you could join Spike Squad, I was like, I definitely needed to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things I saw that y'all did, well, first of all, was Pat McAfee putting on the shoulder pads, the spiked shoulder pads at College Game Day, the morning of Tennessee. Um, did you know that was going to happen?
I had no clue. I don't even think the people who were at game day knew, and it came as a big surprise. And it was honestly really fun and cool to get that kind of publicity.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I know, to get those front row spots at College Game Day, y'all got to pretty much camp out all night. So were you partaking in the camp out?
I kind of was. So even though I wasn't at game day, we had a group that showed up at 4 p.m. on Friday evening.
Wow.
And so we were to make sure we were first there at the gate. And some people came in shifts. So some people came at midnight and then stayed all the way until the morning. And so even though I didn't go to game day, I came and brought food people who were staying at game day and extra blankets because it did end up getting pretty cold.
Yeah.
But
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so cool. So what can you say about some of the friendships that you've built through the Spike Squad?
I'd say honestly, I think I was really nervous going into UGA, like about making friends and like making connections with people that had same interests as me. But like, I think going into Spike Squad, it just like it was so easy to connect with so many people, and like they're like my best friends now, and like I want to hang out with them all the time. And like even though we have our interest of like football and sports and being crazy fans, there's like so many other things that you like get to learn, like waiting in long lines. You like get to just talk about all sorts of different things.
Yeah. So one of the really insane things to me about the entire Spike Squad is through the years, it seems like there's been no repeats in the costumes. How do y'all come up with some of these wild costumes that y'all paint up as?
I think some of it is so crazy. I think a lot of people do just a character they think would represent Georgia really well. So like my character, I call it Disco Dog. It's not really a character. I kind of just made it up.
Yeah.
Whereas like some people are like a specific character like Harley Quinn or like the Joker and stuff like that. And so honestly, there's not many rules on what your character can be as long as you can make it kind of Georgia centered and just be a crazy fan.
There you go. I love it. So how did you come up with yours?
Honestly, so I had these earrings that were disco balls that I got
Mm.
for a concert over the summer. And then right before I moved into my dorm freshman year, I don't remember why, I was at Party City with my mom getting some things. And I saw this hat, this cowboy hat that was like made out of disco ball, like mirrors. And I
Yeah.
was like, wait, that's really cool. I want to get that. And my mom's like, well, why do you want that? I'm like, I don't know. I'll have a use for it. And so I remember when I was trying out for Spike Squad, I was like, I definitely know what my character will be. I'll do like a whole disco theme.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So one of the other cool parts about your costume is I think I saw it in that picture is your spikes are actually
Yeah.
wrapped with like the mirror stuff.
Hmm.
So I know like for the blackout and everything, y'all painted the pads black and all that stuff, but what goes into like the whole costume design, painting up, like how is that process can't come to life on Saturdays?
Honestly, it takes a little bit of time depending on how much your paint is, because some people don't have too much face paint, but some people have a lot more. So it just depends. But a lot of people, while we're waiting in line before we like even get into the gates, will be painting their face and getting ready. And then once we get in the gates is when we paint our bodies. And so usually I wait till we're in the gates because it's easier to do mine in a mirror in the bathrooms once we get in. So I have to do the glitter and everything in a mirror, and I help some of my other friends do their paints. So
Gotcha. And then I wanna ask you a few things about yourself as well. So, what year are you at Georgia?
I'm a second year.
Okay, cool. And then, what's your major?
Right now, I'm intended exercise and sports science, so I'll be applying next semester.
Awesome, awesome. So second year, did you do Spike Squad last year?
Yes, I did. I joined first semester my freshman year.
Got it. And then plan is to go all 4 years
Oh, yeah,
strong, or however many years it
for
takes to
sure.
finish school. I love it. I love it. So another cool part is the travel aspect of the Spike Squad. I don't know if you've been to any away games, but y'all have like y'all raise money to send some of y'all's members to these away games, and it's a super cool thing that the Georgia fan base can give back to and give to the crazy fans of the
Yeah.
Spike Squad. What can you say to the traveling squad and some of the experiences you've seen of your friends or yourself going to away games?
Yeah. I haven't personally been to an away game yet. I'm really hoping to go to some playoff games this year. But from what I've heard, like especially for the Florida game, is it's just so much fun, especially with like now that the players the past 2 years have jumped up and kind of gotten in the student section right by Spike Squad. It's just such a cool experience to be able to go somewhere where it's not like our home stadium, but still have such a big presence and be able to still be such crazy fans. So we're hoping to get a pretty big crowd to go to at least a few of the playoff games.
I love it. I love it. So the getting into the stadium, I mean, getting in front row seats, I mean, you'll have to be there like super early. I know you waited at game day, but waiting for the game alone is another, huge portion of your day on Saturdays. What time, how early, what's like the deal of getting there and getting that front row spot secured?
We usually try to get there 4 hours before game time, but we also play it by how many people we think will be in line. So for the Tennessee game, based on numbers from like years before, we actually were at the gate at 9 a.m. And
Oh,
so we were there pretty much all day. And we do have shifts where some people can go get some food and come back and then switch with the people who are also in line. But yeah, if it's a big game, we won't take any risks and we try to get there as early as we possibly can.
I got you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many members are part of the Spike Squad now?
So I think we have 46 in total, and like obviously not everyone goes to every sporting event. Like
Right.
it's whoever can go, but most people are pretty active and will try to go to as much as they can.
That's awesome. So then, like you said, the other sporting events, I've seen, the basketball programs on the climb. I've seen some Spike Squad members there behind the TV, announcers right there on press row. So what is it like going to other events as a Spike Squad member?
I think it's so much fun. I think a lot of people think we just go to football, but like, I mean, I have enjoyed like last semester, I went to a lot of basketball games, and those are just as fun. And you get to hang out with the same people inside. And sometimes it's a little bit nicer because you're not exposed to all the elements, but I love basketball. And then we actually went to a hockey game earlier this year in January, which was so much fun because I've never really watched hockey, and it was just such a cool experience. And I think our main goal is to try to go to as many sports as we can. And so like I think a big crowd tries to go to equestrian, we try to go to swimming and diving, so whatever we can get enough people to go to.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you brought up the elements. All right, y'all are barely wearing anything. But how, I mean, the Tennessee game, it got pretty cold, and this Tech game on Friday, it's looking like it might get pretty chilly there too. What's the process of getting warmed up? Is it just screaming at the top of your lungs, and that's the adrenaline rush that keeps you warm?
Honestly, I think I didn't even think about being cold at that Tennessee game. I was so into the game and so excited that it helped me not think about being cold. Whereas I think if it was not as exciting of a game, I would have had a hard time staying warm. But yeah, we bring a lot of hot hands, that's for sure.
I gotcha. I gotcha. So I'm gonna ask you a few speed round questions. I always
Yeah.
do a speed round segment, just hard softball questions. They're pretty easy. But first off, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, I would say probably some sort of pasta, any type of pasta.
Love it. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie is really difficult, but I really love The Princess Bride.
There you go. I love that movie too. You can kind of consider it a Christmas movie too. So
Hey,
we're getting to that time of year.
exactly.
And then because of the time of the season, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Ooh, I really love any type of mashed potatoes or like sweet potato dish.
Love it. And then I know you said the Tennessee game this year was maybe your favorite game of all time since you've been at Georgia. What's a favorite memory in general? It can be football, but if you have anything else from your time here at Georgia.
Honestly, I would say like some of my favorite memories are obviously just hanging out before the games at gate time and just getting to know people on Spike Squad, because even though we like are always hanging out at the games, like you really get to know people when you get to talk in line.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another cool part. I mean, there's so many cool parts that we could just go on and on about
Yes.
that what you do, but is y'all are kind of famous. Y'all are some notable people. You're easy to pick out in the crowd of
Oh yeah.
92,000. So what's it like when, a young girl, boy, whoever comes up and asks for your picture? I know that's got to be a cool feeling.
I think it's just so fun to get to know that like there's like kids that look up to you and like want to be like big fans like you are and care so much about the same team, because like to me that's always been a thing, is like as a girl growing up being a big football fan is like people are like, "Oh, you're a girl, how do you like care that much about football?" I think it's encouraging to younger girls to see, especially someone like me on Spike Squad, and be like, "Hey, like I can like football and I can enjoy that kind of stuff." So,
Yeah, that's so good. So let's talk a little bit about the football team this year. We've gone through some ups and downs, the two losses to Alabama and Ole Miss, but it seems like the Tennessee game we caught our groove. What do you feel like going into this Georgia Tech game?
I think I'm not nervous about the game, but I'm just hoping we can play the best we can play, and I hope we destroy them. because it's tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've never really doubted us. I know we've had like a little bit of rough games, but I think once we use all of our skills and really work hard, I think we can get it done.
I like it. I like it. So the heart and soul of the team is the quarterback, and that's evident on every single team. And this year, once again, like the entire team, we've kind of gone with the flow of Carson, and Carson's gone through some ups and downs. What do you think is going to happen moving forward at the quarterback position with Carson back?
I think honestly, if he plays like the way he can play, because I mean he's a great player and proved that last year, and like even though he hasn't had some great games this year, he still has proved it like in the Tennessee game that he can play well. I think if he continues to play with like the mindset of trying to always win and playing the best of his ability, I think we've got it down.
I love it. I love it. And then finally, I always ask this question to close out. What are your predictions or hopes
Ooh.
for the rest of the season?
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't like making predictions
I
because
don't either.
I get
I'm
a little
superstitious, so
yeah,
that's
I
why I
get a
always
little scared.
yeah.
But for my hopes, I'm honestly a little bit nervous about being in the SEC championship now. But I
Agreed.
think since we're playing Texas or Texas A&M, I think we got it down. And as long as we just play how we can play, we got it down, and that'll get us straight to I think quarterfinals of the playoffs. And whoever we play, I think as long as we play like the Georgia team, I know we are. I think we can win everything.
I love it. I love it. Sweep the field. So is he all right, I gotta add on a question.
Oh
Uh
yeah.
are you planning on going to the SEC championship?
I don't think I'm going to go to the SEC championship just because it's right in between my finals, but
Yeah.
I will be going to a playoff game. So,
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I know. I'm so pumped. We've got so many good games coming up, the SEC championship being one of them, but and then it's playoff time. Then it's for real.
yeah,
It's one game seasons and all that. But thank you so much. What's your plans for Thanksgiving? I got
of
to ask
course.
that.
I'm just going to be hanging out with family. I feel like I've been so busy this semester. It's nice to kind of just chill and have a nice meal.
Awesome. I hear you. Well, we are so thankful for the Spike Squad and all that y'all do as crazy fans in Sanford Stadium and beyond. So thank you so much for joining me, and this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Of course, go dogs.
Go dogs.
Awesome. Well, this is the Hammy Show presented by Bulldawg Illustrated, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.